People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. People are strange when you're a stranger. Faces look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted. Streets are uneven when you're down. When you're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange. Alright, yeah. You're strange, faces come out of the rain. When you're strange, no one remembers your name. When you're strange, when you're strange, when you're strange.
So this week I watched The Doors, which was a recommendation by my lovely friend Tina. Tina, my love! I don't know how I feel about it. I think I might have to watch it a couple more times because a lot of it, I must admit, a lot of it went over my head because I'm not too familiar with Jim Morrison. There's only a handful of songs that I actually know from The Doors. A lot of this film I did not understand. It focused on Jim's use of alcohol, the band's use of drugs. It was the late 60s. They used drugs to enhance their senses. Jim was a poet. And what I got from this film was sympathy for his lovely girlfriend, Pam. Is it Pam? Yeah, it was Pam. Pam, played by Meg Ryan. Some of the things that she put up with. Apparently it was an open relationship. I've tried to do a bit of research on Jim Morrison. It was an open relationship. He slept with what they portrayed in this film, hundreds of women. She knew this. She eventually snapped. She tried to get her own back. You do see in one scene her sleeping with a guy that they know, and then she begs him for forgiveness after he slept with all these women. She's begging him for forgiveness. I mean, bloody hell. Yeah, and is influenced by a incident that happened to him as a child. He witnessed a car crash involving a Native American, and he after doing some research again, he believed that Native American spirits were within him. It was part of his soul. So watching the film, without doing that research and watching the film, a lot of it went over my head, and I didn't grasp what this Native American had to do with him, because he kept popping up throughout the film in visions. There was a lot to take in. There was a lot to take in. Like I said, I'm gonna have to watch it a couple of more times. I didn't like it. I didn't love it. So I'm in the middle at the moment. I have to watch it again to sink in, because like I said, there's a lot to take in. So probably on a second or third viewing, I will be able to appreciate it more. But like I said, a lot of it has had to do with Jim's alcohol. I suppose you could call it abuse, alcohol and drug use, which was a common theme in the 60s or so, I believe. I mean, I wasn't around during the 60s. I was born in 79, so I'd have to speak to someone who was there in the 60s of the age of consent to, you know, you can tell me that the 60s was like this, or do films exaggerate? And I'm aware that films do over-exaggerate. Also, doing some research on this, I know that people weren't happy with Jim's portrayal in this film. The actual portrayal of Jim through Val Kilmer was praised, but the actual portrayal of Jim as Jim Morrison, people were not a fan of this film. But I'm going to give it another go. I'm going to watch it probably 2 or 3 more times, and to get the essence, to get the details sink into my tiny little brain, because there was a lot to take in. There is a lot to take in, but it's not going to be one of those films where I've watched and then I think, oh no, I'll never watch that again, and let me just get rid of it, let me just trade it in. I will give it a chance. I will give it a chance. Just as I said, there is a lot to take in. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen this film. Let me know what you thought about it. Did you enjoy it? Is it a fair portrayal of Jim? Yeah, let me know. Come on, Sparky. So I did promise to show you my pin collection. I'm not a hardcore collector. I'm not what do you call it, a hardcore.
You're talking about balls deep. I'm talking about balls deep.
You know how some of these people collect all these Disney pins and they go around the theme parks exchanging them. I'm not one of those. This is just some pins I've collected throughout the years. Let me flip this around. And this is clear, I think. So we got Cartman, Bartman, Batman. See what I did? What's his name? Dastardly Muttley?
I think so, yeah.
Mario, Ghostbusters. We got a couple of Pokemon, a couple of Universal Studios. The Rambo was from a HMV mystery box. We've got Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Quickie Mart Underachiever was from Universal Studios, the Simpsons Quickie Mart shop, because they don't sell anything with the name Stuart on it, so I had to become an underachiever when I am an underachiever, under Smoky.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, we've got a King Charles coronation pin badge there. That was from our current workplace. We got the planchette.
Planchette, yep.
Planchette that came from. I've only just done that as well.
That was the Abominable.
Abominable book club, along with the Stephen King It. Then we've got a couple of they were from a pack from a chemist here called Boots. If you're from outside the UK, you may have not heard of them. They are part of the Walgreens. Yeah, Walgreens. Yeah, there he is. Spooky. Sparky's got his Boots. Is that 15 years on that badge?
That was your Sainsbury's.
You've got 15 years. I'm sure it says It says Boots. It says something years underneath. I'm sure it's 15.
18.
We've got Sainsbury's Paralympic Games badge, and then this Sainsbury's 15 years pin, which I was there for just a little bit over 15 years. Sparky was at Boots for well over 20, is it?
I think it was 18, I think it worked out in the end.
18 years, so there we go then. It's not, as I said, it's not a huge pin collection, but it's what we've picked up over the years.
You will get more though.
Yeah, I'll get some more. I've also got some what we would class as badges on our rucksack. So this isn't everything, but this is strictly pins. Where badges are more like those. It's like got that diaper nappy
Pin. Back, yeah.
I'd class that as a badge, and these ones as pins. So yeah, there we go. So Sparky collects the Hunger Games books. There's a new one that's just been released, Sunrise on the Repin. Now it's sold out on Amazon. They did not have it in our local Asda store, but there is a larger Asda store that we are about to try. So fingers crossed they've got it in stock. Sparky, it's out of stock.
That's not everywhere.
Bloody hell. Just a couple of bits we picked up during shopping this week then. I've gone for the wholemeal Warburton's no added sugar loaf. What's it called? Is it Achilles heel? Is a sandwich. I always love a good sandwich, so it's difficult for me to give up bread at the minute, so I've gone for this. And let me know in the comments below. I know this is a bit like Marmite. People love them or hate them. Do you enjoy these seafood sticks? Because I absolutely love these, just drenched in vinegar or to put on a sandwich. Also new this week, I'm going to try these as a treat. Raspberry and white chocolate hot cross buns, which sound really nice. On a total non-food related note, available now is the vapor rub. So if you are like us and you don't like getting your fingers into the vapor rub, this is a stick, easy applicator, and it's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Highly recommend. Test. So I bit the bullet. I have bit the bullet and started a 4K collection. This was the first 4K I picked up. George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, of course, 1978, 10 years after his Night of the Living Dead. I thought, because my favourite genre is horror, so why not start 4K in horror? This one I have watched, first disc, which was the original cut of the movie. Restored in 4K, and then let's open the box. So you've got the original film, as said, restored in 4K, and then you've got, let me just turn this around because I can't read it, the extended Cannes cut. And there we go. And then you've got the Romero cut, sorry, the Argentino cut on disc 3 and disc 4. There's a whole shebang of special features which were on the back of this. I'll put that there if you want to read it. So quite a few special features there. Really good film. Yeah, I thought why not start the collection off with horror, being as though that's my favourite genre. I love the artwork on these. On that box. I can't remember much about Day of the Dead, which was the follow-up to this film. I think that was released in 1985. I'm not too keen on this slip. I don't know if it's called, I've heard people call it J slips or J sleeves. I'm not too keen on it because I'm going to end up losing it. So there must be some sort of way to tuck it in. Anyway, let's move on. The second one I picked up, well actually let's put that back in the box. I forgot, yeah, this box with it. Let me know in the comments below if you are bothering to collect 4K movies. Are you trading your old DVDs and Blu-rays in for 4K? The next one I picked up was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I did a short on this NECA figure and put some theme music to it, and then it made me think, it popped in my head, I really want to watch that film again. I think I've only ever seen this once. And I remember watching the remake, which was it early 2000s, when they started remaking horror films. I remember liking the remake. It was one of the remakes I did actually enjoy. But yeah, I remember enjoying watching this, and like I said, I've only watched it once, the original. Pretty gruesome film. I'll let you read the back if you want. Loads of special features. I think it's one disc. Pretty sure it's, yeah, one disc. Yeah, it just popped in my head when I did that short of Leatherface. I've got the figure, the NECA figure of Leatherface, and as I was filming that, I thought I need to watch that film again. I've never owned it. I don't think I've ever owned it. I think I rented this when I originally watched it. So the third and final 4K I picked up was a film I've never actually seen, The Wicker Man. I've never seen the remake, I've never seen this. This is by Vintage Classics. Of course, Christopher Lee and Edward Woodward are two brilliant actors. Yeah, I've never seen this. Let me show you the back. I'm not sure if it's 2 disc, 1 disc. 2 disc, okay. 2-disc. So hopefully I can watch this and give you some thoughts. Let me know in the comments again if you have watched this this film, The Wicker Man. Does it have a opening doofus? I need to get something to open it. And I've noticed as well, this probably is a good time to start collecting 4Ks if you've not started, because they're coming down in price, I've noticed. I remember when 4Ks were first released, so most of these films cost about 50 quid. So it's a hell of a lot of money to spend on a film, £40. A lot of these now are coming down. I've seen some 4Ks for as cheap as £10. A lot of them are around £20 on average, £20–25. I love the artwork on that. So yeah, it's probably a good time if you're going to start collecting 4K to start collecting now. And again, it's blank inside. Oh, it's 3 discs. That's cool. So disc 1 is the final cut and special features. The second one is the director's cut, special features, theatrical cut. Disc 3 is the final cut and special features. So that's Blu-ray. Okay, that's Blu-ray, and that one's 4K. I sort of get that it's about a cop. Let's read it properly. A unique and bona fide horror masterpiece, brilliantly scripted by Anthony Schafer, featuring an astounding performance by the legendary Christopher Lee. When a young girl mysteriously disappears, Police Sergeant Howie, which is Edward Woodward, travels to a remote Scottish island to investigate, but his pastoral community, led by the strange Lord Summerisle, is not what it seems. As devoutly religious, detectives soon uncovers a secret society of wanton lust and pagan blasphemy. Can Howie now stop the cult's ultimate sacrifice before he himself comes face to face with the horror of the Wicker Man? I can't speak. Yeah, it sounds a lot like what's that film called? Midsummer. That was pretty quirky and kooky horror. Another film I do like is The Village. I think that was pretty good film. Good weird films about weird communities. This one sounds quite good. Yep, so I'll give that a watch and hopefully I can share my thoughts on that. A couple of Blu-rays I picked up. Well, a Blu-ray and a DVD box set I did pick up while I picked these up. One of them was Chucky. I previously owned this box set. The 7 movie collection. Let me show you the back. I was tempted to pick up the TV series, which I did start to watch, but then I lost access to it halfway through season 1, I think it was. But yeah, like I said, I was starting to enjoy that, so I might pick it up eventually once I've got an extra bit of cash. With the car's due in soon for its MOT, so all depending on how the car gets on, does depend on how much extra cash we're going to have to spend. Obviously, we're trying to save up for Orlando in October. So you've got, yeah, the original complete 7 movies. Don't bother with the remake, that was a pile of crap. This is when it starts to get a little bit stupid, I think. The Seed of Chucky. It's worth a watch. It is worth a watch. That one was okay. I preferred the final one. I can't remember the name, sorry. The Cult of Chucky, in my opinion, was better than The Curse of Chucky. But they're all good. They're all worth a watch. So yeah, I got that, which I did previously own. And then the final box set I picked up was a DVD box set of Star Trek, the 10 original movies. And it comes in this horrible box that, if you checked out my video when I showed you the Batman 66 box set, it's the same box, because you've got, what is it 10? Well, it's going to be 10, isn't it? It's 10 movies. So I presume we've got, unless special features are on another disc, should be about 10 discs. And additional content. And you get a booklet, which you did not get a booklet with Batman, but you do get a booklet with this. Yeah, it's a horrible box, it really is. And saying that, I don't think we've got double disc on top of each other like the Batman. Then again, I think Batman was about 18 discs. 18, I think. This one seems to be singles, so that's okay. Do you know what I was thinking? I think I enjoy the movies more so than the actual Star Trek series. Series in general, I've never seen the original series. Shock horror. I did start watching it from the Next Generation. And I did quite enjoy the series of Voyager. I've never seen Deep Space Nine. It doesn't seem like my kind of thing, Deep Space Nine. I've never seen Enterprise either. Those are the only two I've watched, Voyager and The Next Generation. But I must admit, I think I prefer these movies. When they rebooted it with Chris Pine and what's his face, I can't remember his name now, the bloke from Heroes, he was the villain. It's not bad, but you can't beat the original movies, can you? And this collection here, all 10, on DVD was £15, I think, for an extra tenner. You could have had them on Blu-ray. So $24.99 on Blu-ray, $14.99 on DVD, and I thought, you know what, DVD is just as good, isn't it? And a lot of the reviews were saying on the Blu-rays, the transfers, they couldn't tell the difference between the DVD and the Blu-ray. So you save a bit of cash on that. Thank you for sticking with me on this vlog and getting through to the end of it. I do appreciate you watching. Please consider subscribing. Please consider hitting that thumb. And I'll see you soon. Stick around the channel because there's quite a bit left to come. But there you have it, my start of a 4K collection, which hopefully this is going to be a good film. Let me know in the comments below if you've seen these movies. Would you recommend them? Are they good? Are they crap? Give me a little comment.